Hey guys, welcome back to another dramatic reading episode. My father has informed me that if I'm going to continue to call it dramatic readings, I should get a cape. So let me know how you feel about that in the comments. I'm much of the Edna Mode persuasion. No capes, but I could be persuaded. Okay, so doing a couple of readings that I'll post throughout the weeks. The first one is the Saint Crispin's Day speech from Henry V by Shakespeare. And for historical context, and I have notes, so just bear with me for a second, it's a fictional dramatization of a real event in history, the Battle of Agincourt. And Henry V is rallying his troops before they go into the Battle of Agincourt the next day, where, both historically and in this version of events, they are seriously outnumbered by the French. Accounts are different. The one I found says that Henry's forces numbered somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 men, as high as 7,000, while the French army numbered at least around 30,000. There are a few estimates that are as high as 100,000, but that might be a bit dramatic. So, Henry is giving this speech to his troops the night before this battle, where they know that they are outnumbered by orders of magnitude by a force that is not only larger, but more well-rested and better prepared. And most of the soldiers are willing to go into battle, but there's undercurrents of concern, dissent, not wanting to needlessly die, right? And so Henry V gives this speech to rally the troops. And a lot of the themes that he gives throughout it are camaraderie, sense of duty, honor, loyalty, having this untouchable, unforgettable place in history because of this battle. And what Henry V does, there's actually a clip of the best version of this speech by, I am forgetting the actor's name. He plays Gilderoy Lockhart. Kenneth Branagh. I probably said that wrong. That guy is Henry V in this Saint Crispin's Day speech. And a lot of people I know, including my speech professor from Georgetown, so if you're watching this, hello, love that version of the speech. Fun fact, this speech is also what gave us, or popularized at least, the phrase Band of Brothers, like the book and the miniseries about World War II, which I will get into in another video when I talk about Eisenhower's message to his troops the night before D-Day and how that is one of the only valid modern Saint Crispin's Day speeches. Okay, and I am not a Shakespearean expert, so please do not come for me for how I recite this. I'm sorry in advance. Okay. This is from the perspective of King Henry V to his troops, just as a reminder. What's he that wishes so? My cousin, Westmoreland? No, my fair cousin. If we're marked to die, we are enow, to do our country loss, and if to live, the fewer men, the greater share of honor. God's will, I pray thee, wish not one man more. By Jove, I am not covetous for gold, nor care I who doth feed upon my cost. It yearns me not if men my garments wear, such outward things dwell not in my desires. But if it be a sin to covet honor, I am the most offending soul alive. No, faith, my coz, wish not a man from England. God's peace, I would not lose so great an honor, as one man more, methinks, would share from me. For the best hope I have, oh, do not wish one more. Rather, proclaim it, Westmoreland, through my host, that he which hath no stomach to this fight, let him depart. His passport shall be made, and crowns for convoy put in his purse. We would not die in that man's company that fears his fellowship to die with us. This day is called the Feast of Crispian. He that outlives this day and comes safe home will stand a tiptoe when this day is named, and rouse him at the name of Crispian. He that shall live this day and see old age will yearly on the vigil feast his neighbours and say, To-morrow is Saint Crispian. Then he will strip his sleeve and show his scars, and say, these wounds I had on Crispin's day. Old men forget, yet all shall be forgot. But he'll remember with advantages what feats he did that day. Then shall our names, familiar in his mouth as household words, Harry the King, Bedford and Exeter, Warwick and Talbot, Salisbury and Gloucester, be in their flowing cups freshly remembered. This story shall the good man teach his son, and Crispin Crispians shall ne'er go by, from this day to the ending of the world. But we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother, be he ne'er so vile. This day shall gentle his condition, and gentlemen in England now abed shall think themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their manhoods cheap whiles any speaks that fought with us upon Saint Crispin's day. Okay, so it's a little bit of a longer one. And again, to all of the Shakespearean experts out there that just had to witness that, I apologize. But again, there is the Kenneth Branagh, I am getting his last name wrong, I just know it, Gilderoy Lockhart version of the Saint Crispin's Day speech that is phenomenal. I won't clip it to this video because I do not want to get a copyright infringement, but you guys can go find it. So what are some of the lessons that we learn from this speech? One, Henry V does something that, of royalty at the time, was kind of unheard of. He brought himself down to the level of his troops. Notice he says I very, very sparingly, and pretty much only at the beginning of the speech when he's talking about, I don't want more men. I like the men that I have, because if we had more men, I'd have to share the honor with more people, which kind of a joke, kind of sarcastic, depending on your interpretation of it. I think he's just trying to be like, hey, we 3,000 can get this done. Kind of Battle of Thermopylae at the 300 type vibes. But then once he's done with like, I don't need more men, because he's leading them, he switches to we, us, our, and other Old Englishy style words for them, because he is bringing himself to their level, and he is saying, we are fighting this battle. We are waging this war. We are going into this possibly ultimate sacrifice together. And any man that joins me in this battle and sheds blood with me on this battle will be my brother. Band of brothers. Forevermore. Because it's that shared sacrifice, shared hardship, shared, hopefully, victory that will bring them all together and join them as brothers forever, regardless of their station or anything else. Now, the modern lessons to learn. One, and again, I'll make a separate video about this. This is the speech that I have no idea if Eisenhower ever read this speech. I have to imagine he probably did at some point or another. But even if he didn't read this speech, the values and lessons from it he uses in his message to his soldiers the night before D-Day. The other thing is there are several people in the course of history since this speech that have thought they were giving their Saint Crispin's Day speech. They thought they were giving this rousing, history-making speech to their people about whatever issue. And generally it falls flat. So I will say this, if you think that you are in a position to give a Saint Crispin's Day speech, approach with caution and humility, because if the person giving the speech is most impressed with themselves and not the people they're giving the speech to, it's probably not going to land, no matter how well written it is. Thanks for listening to me yap. I'll see you guys next time for our next dramatic reading.